Hello kids, so we're gonna carry on with generalization. Now I'm sure that you've came across this word before and you have took it plenty of times with your teacher. So whatever I'll be saying to you now is nothing new. Generalization is making a general statement. You can use what you already know to make generalization. It is a broad statement, a statement that is very general. You can use what you already know before to make a generalization, and it is usually based on facts. When you generalize, you have to have facts and logic in order to come up with a general statement, for example, to generalize. Now, there are certain clue words that may help in generalization. They're not necessarily that It is not necessary that all these clue words should be there in generalization, but they are usually used to show generalization. Always, most, sometimes, rarely, never, all, many, some, no one, generally. Now, examples of what generalization is. Usually, it's written like that, okay, to make generalization simpler. Usually there's the example written 3 to 4 to 5, depends on how many examples. Okay, the examples are written in order to reach to a generalization. Usually this is the form that is used. So let's check the first example. Only my math homework was easy. How was this person who said that only my math homework was easy, was able to reach to this generalization? There were examples, of course. Let's say when doing the math homework, he did it very quickly and it was easy. The science homework was very difficult and the English homework was very hard. Okay, so what's the generalization here? That only the math homework was easy. Okay, this is the generalization. I'm saying a general statement that only the math homework was easy. Okay, instead of giving lots of details. All kids go to school. Here, this is the generalization. Let's say, example number 1, Alana went to school. Uh, Example number 2, Rana went to school. Example number 3, Mona went to school. So this means the generalization, all kids go to school. By the way, these are very simple questions, just to refresh you, okay, so that you would remember what generalization is. All birds have wings. Let's say example number 1, the eagle has wings, sorry. The peacock has wings. What else? The owl has wings. So what's the generalization? And many other birds have wings. What's generalization? All birds have wings. This is the general statement. Another example. Everyone likes strawberries. What are the examples? My grandma likes strawberries. My sister likes strawberries. My brother likes strawberries. So here, what's the general statement? Instead of saying all these examples, everyone likes strawberries. Now let's check the workbook, okay, and start doing this question that is in the workbook, page 430. Now please read with me. Read the following passage. Think about generalizations you can make from what you have read. Okay? Now here the generalization is already written. Now let's start reading the passage together. We're going to read it and we try to understand it very well so that you'll be able to answer. Some cities, like New York, started small and grew larger as more people and businesses moved in. So there are some cities like New York. New York is a state in the United States. It started small and it started to become larger. Okay, first it was small and then it became larger as more people and businesses moved in, as there were more people coming to the state and there were many places. Businesses are like places like, for example, Center Point, McDonald's. These are all businesses. Okay, New York became an important world center. It became very important. All people go there. Okay, this is, now remember this part, that New York was small and it became larger since there were more people and businesses that went there. Okay, and it became very important. Now other cities did not do as well. They weren't as good as New York. Other cities. Some cities in the West thrived. Thrived here means they grew, they developed during the gold rush years. Okay, they're telling you that there were cities that were able to grow during the gold rush. The gold rush is the years that where people used to move to a place where there is gold. So in this period, there were cities that were able to grow because of the gold rush years. But when the gold rush ended, okay, people abandoned these cities. They left those cities and they are now ghost towns. Okay, now the author refers to these cities as ghost towns. So first we said that New York, I hope you still remember, was small and became larger. Okay, and then there are cities that were doing very well during the gold rush years, and then people started leaving these cities after the gold rush years, and they're called ghost towns. Now, then there are cities that suffered tragedy and remake themselves. There are cities that are going through hard times, okay, or they're going through bad times, and they are remaking themselves. They're trying to become better. They're trying. San Francisco and Chicago both had terrible fires years ago. Okay? So they had really bad fires years ago. But the people in those cities decided to rebuild. But still, the people had the strength, or they had the determination to rebuild. Okay? They said, no, we're gonna rebuild those cities. Today, these two cities are bigger and better than ever. Now, San Francisco and Chicago are bigger and better than ever. Now the directions. Fill in the graphic organizer with ideas from the passage that lead to the generalization. Then answer the questions. Now we're going to get ideas from the passage that lead to the generalization. And you're going to write it in example 1, example 2, example 3. And then you're going to answer the questions. Example 1. What is example 1 if the generalization is that cities change over time? They said that the generalization is that cities, okay, change over time. What is the first example that supports this generalization? Or what is the generalization supported with? The first thing, of course, as I said, like New York, there were cities, some cities keep growing. This is the first example that it changed, that it grew. This is a change. So I was able to say that the cities have changed over time. Example 2, we said that there were some cities that were doing well during the gold rush years, and then when the gold rush years ended, they left the cities, and now these cities became ghost towns. Example 3, okay, they said that some cities, now the best thing to do with such a passage is to divide it into different parts so that it becomes easier for you to understand. And the last thing is that there were cities that managed to rebuild itself. They suffered strategies and rebuilt. So we reach to this generalization. Now number 4 and 5 you will be doing on your own, and you will send it to your teacher. It relies on your own answer, okay? So the answers vary.